Do you think dressing elegantly after 60 is hard because of your large bust? They've been lying to you. Today I'll show you the only 6 pieces that effortlessly transform your figure. They're not expensive, they're not uncomfortable, and they'll instantly make you look taller, slimmer, and more sophisticated. But be careful. Choose even one of them wrong, and the whole effect disappears. Stick around, because the final piece is the secret used by the world's best-dressed women to pull it off. Piece number 6. V-neck blouses. Ah, the V-neck. That silent, elegant, functional ally so many women avoid out of fear of showing too much. But Queen, let me tell you something. You don't need to reveal it all to be unforgettable. A well-designed V-neck doesn't expose. It suggests. It elongates the neck, balances the bust, and creates a harmonious, sophisticated silhouette. A deep V-neck, without being over the top, creates a vertical line that slims the torso and draws the eye upward toward your face, not your chest. Choose it in light fabrics like silk or crepe. And if you want to elevate your look even more, go for a color that lights up your face effortlessly. Bone white, powder blue, or golden beige. Now think of Sofia Vergara. Yes, she has a generous bust, yet you rarely see her wearing outfits that throw off her proportions. Her secret? Strategic necklines, especially V-necks, that visually refine her figure without taking away an ounce of elegance. You've seen her on red carpets in dresses that frame her bust gracefully, never shouting for attention. And what should you avoid? Steer clear of high, round, or turtlenecks that only add volume to your chest area and make you look boxy, shorter, and, well, let's say it nicely, visually confused. What can you pair a V-neck blouse with? Straight-leg trousers with a mid or high rise that lengthen the silhouette without adding bulk. A-line skirts that balance the bust and slim the figure. Tailored blazers that structure the torso without overdoing it, or an open tailored vest that elongates without cutting the body visually. The V-neck doesn't just flatter, it gives you back control over your image. When you have a large bust, it's easy to fall into the trap of hiding, of covering yourself entirely, as if your body were something to disguise. But this neckline, by elongating the neck and drawing attention to your face, reminds you that the most important thing is still your expression, your presence, your voice. And if you thought that was all, get ready for the next piece, because many women already have it in their closet. If you're enjoying these tips, subscribe to the channel. We talk about fashion here. Yes. But more importantly, we talk about self-esteem, style, and feminine power. Piece number 5. Waisted dresses. Do you know what a dress cinched at the waist does? It gives you back the power of your silhouette. Simple as that. When you have a generous bust, the temptation is to hide it under loose layers, shapeless tunics, or straight cuts that make you look like a column with no curves. But what many don't know is that this doesn't disguise, it erases. A dress fitted at the waist highlights your figure in a balanced and refined way. It doesn't need to be tight or clingy. It just has to follow the natural curve of your waist and let the fabric fall softly over your hips. The result? A proportioned, feminine, and confident silhouette that enhances your curves with structure, not stiffness. It's the kind of piece that works for you, without demanding sacrifices. Now, do you want a master class in how to wear this piece? Michelle Obama. Her height, her poise, her noticeable but balanced bust, and always in dresses that emphasize the waist. You see her at official events in perfectly tailored silhouettes that define her shape without squeezing, letting the fabric flow with authority. In dresses, deep and sober tones visually slim the silhouette and bring effortless elegance. Choose burgundy, navy blue, forest green, charcoal gray, or chocolate brown for a polished effect. Avoid straight, loose, shapeless dresses. They drown your figure and leave you looking undefined. Also skip those with elastic just under the bust. They only emphasize volume. Say no to empire cuts in heavy fabrics or loud prints. They create chaos, not style. Emotionally, a piece like this reminds you that you have shape, and that shape is yours, unique, worthy of celebration. You're not here to hide, you're here to shine. And of course, if someone tells you loose dresses are more comfortable, just smile and say, "So are hospital gowns." But I don't wear those to dinner. With this piece, you walk with the confidence of someone who's made peace with her shape. Are you enjoying these tips? Then don't miss my ebook, More Elegant Than Ever. It's a complete handbook to help you refresh your image. Link in the description. Piece number 4, A-line skirts. The A-line skirt. That masterpiece of design that deserves its own monument in the world of women's fashion. Why? Because it's the only skirt that visually balances a prominent bust without making you look like you're playing dress-up. The key is in the shape. It fits snugly at the waist and flares gently downward, creating that visual effect of endless legs and a well-balanced figure. The A-line skirt is one of the few pieces that can balance the volume of the bust without forcing the silhouette. By defining the waist and gradually widening at the bottom, it creates a harmonious proportion that flatters the body without squeezing it. You don't just look taller and more elegant, you also regain control over your figure with ease and grace. This piece doesn't correct. It enhances what's already beautiful. And who wears it like it's part of her DNA? Salma Hayek. Always classy, always flawless, but never boring. Salma has worn A-line skirts countless times, pairing them with structured blouses or fine fabrics like silk. Every time she shows up in this silhouette, she exudes balance, confidence, and a femininity that speaks for itself. Avoid pencil skirts. They can exaggerate the contrast between bust and hips. Also avoid overly flared skirts. They add visual noise and steal from your elegant presence. This piece gives you the freedom to walk lightly, to move without worrying about adjustments or unflattering creases. Emotionally, it connects you with that desire to feel feminine without sacrificing comfort, something that, after 60, is a luxury that should also be a priority. Pair a midi-length A-line skirt in navy blue or forest green with wrap tops, puff sleeves, and 3/4 length sleeves in lighter shades. You'll create stunning looks. If the skirt is made of a fabric with good drape, like crepe, soft gabardine, or structured linen, the visual effect will be fluid, not stiff. And if someone says that skirt is too classic, just smile and reply, "Darling, some things are classic because they work." With this piece, you don't just walk gracefully, you carry with you a story of style that refuses to be ignored. The next piece is perfect for those moments when you want coverage without sacrificing style, the kind that whispers effortless elegance. Piece number 3, 3/4 sleeve blouses. If I had to choose just one sleeve style that flatters nearly every woman with a prominent bust, regardless of age or personal style, it would be the 3/4 sleeve. This isn't an exaggeration. This sleeve is quite literally a visual strategy wrapped in fabric. First, let's get practical. The 3/4 sleeve reveals the slimmest part of the arm, the forearms and wrists. By doing so, it visually elongates the upper body, breaks up the torso line, and creates a perfect balance between bust volume and arm structure. a kind of geometric magic, woven with elegance. Now let's take a moment to talk about real style. Helen Mirren. Over 70, and with a bust that's anything but modest, Helen has shown time and time again that the three-quarter sleeve is the secret behind some of her most elegant looks. It doesn't matter whether she's wearing lace, silk, or cotton. There's always structure, purpose, and an air of, I know exactly who I am. Because when a woman masters her style, age and body are no longer obstacles. They become her signature. So what should you avoid? Skip tight short sleeves. They tend to cut the arm at its widest point, creating an unflattering illusion of added volume. Also, stay away from overly loose long sleeves. They add visual weight and can make you look like you're wrapped in fabric instead of dressed with intention. Choose three-quarter sleeve blouses with gentle structure, ones that shape your figure without clinging. Look for subtle seams, light darts, or an empire cut just below the bust to flatter your shape and create visual harmony. As for fabrics, go for ones that drape gracefully without sticking. Matte silk, lightweight crepe, stretch cotton blends, or soft linen. This kind of blouse is also emotionally freeing. Why? Because many women start to feel self-conscious about their arms with age. This sleeve offers graceful coverage without hiding you completely. It's a gentle caress to your self-esteem, and it also gives you freedom of movement, expression, and style, perfect for a lunch with friends, a polished meeting, or simply to look in the mirror and say, "Today I dressed like the woman I want to be." And if you still doubt the power of a simple sleeve, just remember, the finest lines in a painting always frame the most valuable part. Your arms deserve that same framing. The next piece doesn't just make you look beautiful, it wraps you in a softness you can see and feel. Piece number 2, soft and flowy fabrics. There's something almost poetic about a piece of clothing that doesn't squeeze, doesn't cling, doesn't shout. It simply flows with grace over your body, moving with you like a quiet dance. Soft, fluid fabrics like crepe, viscose, chiffon, or matte silk hold a special power for women with a large bust. They don't just flatter, they free. You see, one of the most common mistakes is thinking that to control your bust, you need to squeeze it in or hide it under stiff or heavy fabrics. And that mistake often leads women to dress as if their clothes were armor. And what does armor do? It protects, sure, but it also isolates. Instead, a flowy garment brings movement, and where there is movement, there is life. A blouse with vertical drape creates soft lines that elongate the torso, smooth without hiding, and bring majestic visual balance. One woman who embraces this with wisdom and ease is Veronica Castro. In her more recent appearances, she's chosen lightweight blouses with soft drape and minimal structure, letting elegance shine through without stiffness. She knows that when fabric flows, it speaks of a woman who no longer needs to disguise herself as anything. Avoid rigid fabrics like heavy linen or thick cotton. They anchor to the body and highlight what you don't need to emphasize. Say no to shiny lycra or sticky synthetics. They tend to exaggerate the bust and kill sophistication. Choose what flows, not what clings. These fabrics also have a profound psychological impact. They help us reconnect with our femininity without excess. They allow us to feel free without losing structure. And that, my love, is priceless. One tip: look for garments with fine pleats or subtle draping. They help shape the figure without losing that graceful flow. And if you can pair them with a neutral palette, ivory, pearl gray, steel blue, The result is effortless elegance. And if someone ever tells you that kind of fabric doesn't hide anything, just smile and say, "I have nothing to hide. I have plenty to show, just on my terms." With this piece, you don't just look radiant. You move as if everything within you is flowing in harmony. And now, we've reached the crown jewel. A piece so powerful, so strategic, that it can completely transform your image simply by aligning a few lines. Piece number 1, blouses with vertical details. Listen closely to this tip, Queen, because it's one of those tricks hardly anyone talks about, yet it can completely change how you look and how you feel. Vertical lines are your best allies. It doesn't matter whether you're wearing a blouse, a shirt, or a stylish top. If it has vertical details, whether through seams, darts, pleats, aligned buttons, or even a subtle vertical print, what it does is create an optical illusion of height, slimness, and visual harmony. And when you have a generous bust, that translates into instant elegance, without effort. And if there's one woman who has mastered this trick without losing her essence, it's Angelina Jolie. In recent appearances, she's chosen flowing shirts with central button plackets and subtle seams that refine her silhouette without taking away her personality. Always balanced, always iconic, always commanding presence. Avoid blouses with large chest pockets, horizontal cuts, or overly busy patterns in that area. Also, say no to ruffles or exaggerated decorations. All of that adds unnecessary volume and breaks visual balance. So how do you style this blouse to make the effect truly powerful? For a polished, everyday look, pair it with straight-leg mid-rise pants, ideally in a neutral tone. This elongates the legs and keeps the attention where it should be, on the verticality of the torso. If you prefer skirts, go for a midi A-line that hugs the waist without competing with the bust. Add a slim belt if the blouse is tucked in. It adds structure without overwhelming. For a more formal look, choose a blouse in matte satin or flowing silk with subtle buttons and pair it with palazzo pants or a two-piece suit in coordinated tones. And please, skip the heavy necklaces. Let the vertical line take center stage. Instead, go for delicate earrings or a simple bracelet. And for the final touch, shoes that show the top of your foot. They elongate your silhouette even more. Everything in balance. No loudness, just quiet power. A blouse with center buttons from neckline to hem can turn a basic outfit into something structured, chic, and refined. And if you choose it in a solid color, like burgundy, deep blue, sophisticated nude, or petrol green, the result is soft authority, feminine power, without showing off. And emotionally, this kind of piece does something beautiful. It invites you to stand tall, to look forward, to walk with intention, as if every vertical line not only slimmed your figure, but also aligned your attitude. If you made it this far, drop a "I love being a woman" in the comments, so I know you're part of our community of women who shine from within. What you learned today is just the beginning. My ebook, More Elegant Than Ever, will show you how to dress for your body type, choose your best colors, and so much more. The link's in the description, and only the first ones to grab it will get all the exclusive content, because you deserve to look like a queen.